Welcome, listeners and viewers, to the Mind, Body, Spirit Network's weekly High Vibe Tribe expert interview. My name is Liz Cristia. I am founder of the Mind, Body, Spirit Network, and your happy host here at highvibetriberadio.com if you're listening to us on a podcast, or on YouTube, highvibetribetv.com. And I love to bring visionary thought leaders, luminary healers, transformational agents of change, pioneers out there willing to break free from limiting beliefs. And today is no exception. Today I have the lovely Linda Armstrong of lovemylife.coach. And we're going to get to know Linda and share some of the great things that she's doing here today. But before we talk to Linda, let me just give you a little background on her. Hold on one second while I grab that. Okay, so Linda Armstrong is an energy healer and spiritual awakening coach. She is certified in many healing modalities after becoming a master certified law of attraction energy coach. So Linda, you became a law of attraction energy coach first, and then you decided you wanted to learn about different modalities?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that. I mean, you've dove deep into like Theta healing and other modalities. I thought that was more what started you, but it's really the law of attraction certification that got you going. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually really a tear in my rotator cuff that brought me to all of it.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll get to that in a second. So Linda has a unique style in her work, combining energy healing with coaching while tapping into her intuitive nature and spiritual guidance to help her clients live an inspired, high vibrational life while assisting them to finding what it is that is for their highest good. Linda helps people who are spiritually awakening to their authentic self, who want to break through all that is keeping them stuck and stopping them from moving forward, to tap into the possibilities, knowing their purpose, achieving their goals, and loving their life. She works with you to release all those things that keep pulling you off course and stop you from succeeding. All the fear, the doubt, the worry, all those subconscious beliefs, thoughts, patterns, and programs that hold you and all of us back. You are not alone out there when you're kind of wrestling through the mud to try to get through some of this junk that's in our way. So basically, Linda clears those subconscious programs so you can step into your full potential to create a life that you love. Now, some of her healing modalities is the gate healing method, which why don't we talk about that while we're here at this juncture? Just real quickly, what's the gate healing method?
Well, the gate healing method works through the body. So as I work with people and finding what it is they want to create in their life, you pretty much create an embodiment a statement of what you desire, and you talk to your body and ask your body, show me how it would feel, what it would be like in general as I triple my business this year, or whatever it is, right? If there's resistance, it will show up in your body in that moment. You'll get a pain in your head, you'll have heart palpitations, you'll have shortness of breath, you'll have itchiness anywhere in your body, you have pain shoot through your leg, all sorts of sensation. You also have good sensation. So that's how I know things that there's no resistance to. But when things show up, there's something stopping you, some pattern, some program. That's how it shows up. Your body will tell me, because the cells of your body contain all of it.
So the gate method is more of an embodied feeling exercise.
That actually is what leads. Well, that plus I combine a couple of different things, right? So I do the Theta healing, I do gate, and just my intuitive guidance. So as I'm working, especially, I do a lot of gate work. So as I'm working, I'll kind of be guided as to what things to maybe have my client statement to the body to trigger the body, right? So sometimes we're throwing embodiments on that are meant to bring up the resistance.
Oh.
So it's either I'm throwing embodiments on to bring up resistance to clear, then move into the embodiment of the manifestation that you want to manifest in your life.
Okay.
So it's all about bringing up resistance and clearing it right there on the spot. So you actually wind up leaving a session feeling lighter.
Right.
So I'll just go on to say, I am a light worker. Obviously, we're working with light. This is that energy of love that is everything, that heals everything. And that's what I learned without knowing what I learned when I healed my rotator cuff, not being a healer and nothing like that. That's what brought me to law of attraction coaching. And the rest of it just unfolded. So we'll see
what happened to your rotator cuff? Tell us that story. That's the start of it all.
Yeah, well, I'm teaching karate, and I wake up one day out of the blue. I have no idea how it happened. I think I know now. Spirit gave it to me.
Yeah.
I couldn't lift my arm. I could not move my arm. I was in so much pain. And I tried figuring out what it was, and I thought it was like maybe a Lyme disease thing, because all these people are telling me what it could be. I wound up getting x-rayed. I have a bone spur that was tearing into one of the ligaments. So that's why I couldn't lift my arm, because I had a tear in the rotator cuff. So, that kind of got me thinking, well, I'm pushing 50. I'm going to be teaching karate for the rest of my life. And I already can't lift my arm,
Yeah.
So it had me try to figure out, well, what can I do with, my goal was I want to be able to work with people and help people anywhere in the world at any time from anywhere. Like, I don't want to be locked into Tenafly, New Jersey, where my karate school is.
Right.
That was my intention. That brought me to internet marketing. What is your passion? Oh, my passion, law of attraction, right? Energy, things like that. But I still had no concept of ever being a healer. That was just not in there. And so
you're like clearly a healer to me, but
yeah, but I didn't know it.
Funny you didn't know that, right?
But
do you feel yourself now as being a healer?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I know why. And I know it was the rotator cuff for sure that had to bring me there. And there's so many like coincidental things that happen. And now it's the universe. There's no coincidence. Spirit's sending you the right things at the right time.
Right.
So law of attraction coaching, I get an invitation to this Awakening Your Light Body meditation course. I'm like, I had to do it. Like something inside me told me, you have to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I can't meditate. I can't quiet my mind.
Really sit still, right?
Yeah, I can't even keep thoughts out of my mind. I could never do it. But something made me have to do it. I couldn't even afford it. But my husband's like, you're that drawn to it, go for it. Because he's into this whole energy world with me too. And again, developing more and more as we go on this journey together. I sign up for this thing. Now, I still have the rotator cuff tear. I'm teaching karate with a sling on my arm, not to use it, because, you want to use it. And then it's like, I can't use my arm. So I get this invitation by accident, because I did not yet graduate this year-long Law of Attraction Coaching Academy. And this invitation is for graduates. Well, somehow I get it. Somehow I have to sign up. I get into this course. So the rotator tear, that happened in like February. By May, I'm enrolled into this course for this Law of Attraction coaching. By October, I'm signed up in this light body meditation course, Awakening Your Light Body. I didn't even know what a light body was, right?
Oh.
Like, okay, whatever. So I'm doing that. And right before right before the end of the year, I decide I'm going to have the surgery. I cannot go on like this anymore. I've got to do something about this. Okay, fine, I'll do surgery.
Yeah.
I'm at a Christmas party. And there's a couple of people there who have had the surgery. This is a karate Christmas party. So there's people who have had this similar injury.
Yep.
Through who knows what. And they're telling me the misery of this surgery and the recovery. I'm like, oh my God. And so as I'm listening to it, I get a message. I get this message, you can heal yourself. I'm like, whoa. So I heard that you can heal yourself. I'm saying I heard it. I don't know how I got it, but I got the message somehow. You can heal yourself. And they're telling their stories. And like, I was in some other planet. Like, I can heal myself. I couldn't hear a word anybody else was saying.
Oh.
So the next day, I think I emailed a couple of people.
Is that the first time you've ever had a clear message like that you heard?
The first time that I was consciously aware of having a clear message like that. Like I wasn't,
right.
I knew I was somewhat intuitive, but I didn't even know what that meant.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so anyway, I get the message. I ask two people, you think it's possible to heal yourself? And they're both like, well, I'm not a doctor, but in my world it is. That was all I had to hear, right? So I guess I didn't have resistance to this. I was able to take on the belief that I can hold myself, heal myself.
Yeah.
I can hold that belief for myself, right? So wouldn't you know it, we're on a break because it's over Christmas. And this Awakening Your Life Body course met the first 3 weeks of every month. So we were on a break between Christmas and New Year, get back to the very first class in January for this Awakening Your Life Body course, self-healing.
Oh,
Self-healing,
yeah.
right? So there were these meditations that you can use for self-healing. So I'm telling you, I did this meditation probably once a day. Within 2 months, I was healed.
Wow.
It's almost like Spirit gave me in some way, some tool that would allow me to not only believe it, but really allow it, to absorb it, to accept it. So I was able to have the healing, full range of my shoulder, no problems at all. And I still wasn't going to be a healer. I was just law of attraction coaching.
Yeah.
But then one thing after the other, like I started this, another year-long course of an energy mastery course, right? That was an add-on to the law of attraction coaching. That's why it's Master Certified Law of Attraction Energy Coach, because it's the two courses combined together.
Okay.
So, while I'm in that course, I get an invitation for a Reiki class.
Oh.
I didn't even know what Reiki was, Liv. I didn't know what it was.
Listening audience and viewing audience, I didn't know that. I just assumed Linda was a lifelong healer. So that's how she is now. But
no, it was an evolving journey. So then I do the Reiki thing. Okay, it gets even cooler, right? I was doing some other channeling course with somebody. And while I'm doing that, I'm feeling all this energy coming up out of my hands. I'm like, this is so weird. Right when I get this invitation for the Reiki thing. And I knew the teacher of that course. So I'm like, can you tell me more about this? She goes, oh, there's a webinar coming up. I'm like, no, you got to tell me, because somehow I've got to do this. And I've got this feeling in my hands. I don't know if it's related. She's like, you're already bringing in the energy.
Oh.
Don't worry about it. It's coming in. The course is perfect for you.
Oh.
And of course I signed up, became a Reiki master teacher.
How long did that take, Linda, to become a Reiki master teacher?
I don't remember. It was like 3 courses, and each course might have been 3 months. I don't really recall.
So maybe a year or so, or
yeah, maybe. So the journey's still going on, right? So now, I mean, I don't know what we intended with the interview, but I guess this is where Spirit wants us to go. Here, we're going there. So now I decide I'm going to bring meditation to my karate school. To the people at my school, the parents of the kids I teach, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought I'll give them a bonus of a Reiki session.
Nice.
So I'm giving this Reiki bonus session to one of the enrollees in one of my meditation courses, who actually was a teenager and didn't want to do it, so she sent her mom. I'm giving the mom of my student a Reiki session. And as I'm doing the healing work with her, she starts telling me about this Israeli guy who's coming to the States, and he's going to be teaching some healing modality called the gate. I'm like, what? The what? She just said the words, the gate. And I was like, I got a hit. I'm like, well, what is it? She goes, I don't know. I'm like, no, you got to tell me something more. She goes, I really don't know. But there's this acupuncturist. Her name's Moore Baliban, and she's bringing him here. And that's how I know about it. So give me her email. I got to email her. I got to find out about it. So I get her email. I'm going to start doing this, right? Yeah. I tell my husband. It was like that night, I'm telling him about this woman and this gate thing, and this woman, this acupuncturist called Moore. And he goes, who? I say the name again. He goes, oh my God, John just told me that he went to see her yesterday and she was amazing.
Oh.
So I'm like, oh my God. Okay, I got to do this.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to tell a quickie synchronicity story and then continue this.
Okay.
So that's an example of it right there. Today I was doing an interview with this guy, this doctor who's a sweetheart. And he's like, I'm like, where did you grow up? He's like, Westerly, Rhode Island. I'm like, I was just on the phone with my aunt telling her that my sister lives one town over from Westerly, Rhode Island, same day. You know, I'm like, we're meant to be. Let's go.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so you get this hit on the gate healing method.
Yeah.
So what happened then?
So I decided I have to do it. And then we went into New York City, because that's where they were giving a little talk about it. And to make sure you want to sign up. And I'm like, sign me up. My husband came with me because I didn't feel like driving in late. It was at night. And,
Oh, yeah.
I just didn't feel like driving into the city by myself then. So he came with me and he's listening to it. I look at him like, you got to do this. He's like, yeah, I got to do this. So we both take the course together. He's
Oh, you both did.
Oh yeah. He's as certified in gate healing as I am.
He doesn't really use it though, does he?
Only with himself. He doesn't work with people or family members,
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So, so that's now I'm doing the gate. Right. But now another interesting story. One of the mothers who was coming to my meditation groups, who actually also did Reiki from Japan, trained a little bit differently. She comes to my meditation course. And now while in the meditation course, she opened up her channeling abilities. She had locked it away because it scared her when she was younger. So here she is in my class. All this information starts flooding in, and she's telling people in the class stuff that came to her during the meditation. So she started channeling for me. She said, this must be some reason you opened this up for me. So she kept getting messages for me. So the interesting thing is she starts channeling for me. Like she'll come and tell me, oh, I got a message for you. Oh, I got a message for you. Then she says, I want to sit with you. And she sits with me and she connects my energy and she's telling me a bunch of things. And then and this woman, I met her into this journey where my shoulder was already healed, right? So she knows nothing about this, right?
Oh.
She's channeling for me and she's like, all of a sudden she starts pointing at my shoulder.
Yeah.
She's like, arrow, 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 arrow. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
She says, you were a Native American man and you were in a battle and you got injured. You had an arrow to your shoulder and your people left you. But the other people took you in and they healed you. And the healer taught you how to be a healer.
Oh, interesting.
Really?
Very cool.
The whole thing came full circle.
Right.
It's like it was an injury in whatever lifetime that was that brought me to being a healer. It was an injury in this present lifetime that brought me into being a healer.
Interesting. Love that. And then how did that lead to Theta healing?
Oh.
And what's Theta healing all about? Not everyone knows what Theta healing is. What's that? Okay. You got to lean closer too, Linda. You're a little hard to hear.
All right. Did the scratchiness go away?
Yep.
Okay, so I guess I have to leave that off. All right, so Theta healing was kind of on my radar. So one of my instructors early in that Awakening Your Light Body course, I had, when you awaken that light body, I went through a lot of physical pain and things as I was releasing stuff and expanding my awareness, right? So she did some Theta healing with me. I didn't know what it was. I said, well, how did you do that? She goes, I was Theta healing. I'm like, okay, right? Didn't know what it was. Then my gate teacher used to practice Theta healing. So he and some of his students, top students that would be in the classes teaching, would talk about Theta healing.
Ah.
Like, that's interesting. Then another friend of mine, psychic medium, tells me about this woman in England. You got to have a session with this woman. She's great. She's very intuitive. I'm like, okay. So I go to have a session with this woman. What is she doing? Theta healing.
Ah.
So after that session, and I felt the effects of the Theta healing and all that, I'm like, I think I better find out about Theta healing. And then it's like, boom, boom, boom. I'm signed up. I'm in New York City every day doing Theta healing courses.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, okay, I'm just going with it. So I've done a lot of courses with Theta healing. And now I basically, I was also drawn to reconnective healing with Dr. Eric Pearl.
I've heard about that.
I didn't get a certification in that, but I work with that energy. So I kind of just go with what comes to me with whoever I'm there. I just listen to sense, hear, know somehow.
Yeah.
This is more of a clear cognizance, more like a knowing that drops in when I'm working with people. And I just do whatever comes to me to do to work with that person to clear their blocks.
Nice. So how long have you been working on individuals, Linda, with this process or the combination of things?
The journey along the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably it was 2011 when I started. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've worked on a lot of people to great success. I mean, if you visit Linda's website, she has some really exceptional testimonials about the work that she's done with people. What if you find is like what's a common denominator with most? Is there a common denominator when it comes to dealing with beliefs and the crap that we got stuck in us? Is there a common theme there?
I would have to say the common theme is I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving. And it could come out in any way, shape, or form, whether it's finance, whether it's romance, whether it's family, you know, whatever that might be.
Yeah.
I think ultimately what I feel like Spirit's teaching me these days is just to surrender, to know where I'm going with all that I'm doing now is, and actually the clients who are coming to me are want to open up to their connection to spirit, right? To know that they are far more than this body that we live in.
Yes.
And so it goes beyond all of the other things I've done before, even though I combine all of that to help open people up to this knowing, but I'm also working on it with myself too. That place of surrender, that knowing everything that's happening is exactly how it's supposed to be. It's all unfolding in divine timing.
Yes.
And that the less you do, the easier it will happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The less you do, because when you start getting into, and I've been doing a lot of videos on my YouTube channel about this thing with the ego and the soul, because when you're in that soul space, that connection to spirit, it's pure love. Everything comes to you through peace, love, and joy.
Right.
When you're in that negative aspect of the ego mind.
Yes.
I mean, there's good parts to that, but you know, the part that really controls us and where all these patterns and programs and old stories are stored are being replayed all the time through that ego mind, that subconscious mind that never sleeps, right?
Right. Relentless.
Telling you these old stories.
Yeah.
So when you have to try and push so hard to make something happen, you got to ask yourself, am I really enthusiastic and inspired and I can't wait to do this next thing? I'm so excited. Or I got to do this. If I don't do this, I'm going to lose my house. If I don't do this, he'll never love me. If I don't do this, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So you start pushing because, you know, that's the story. That's the 3D reality, right? We're learned through peace. We're learning through struggle, right?
Right.
The monuments to all these people that overcame. Like, it's a virtue to overcome all this negative crap.
Right.
That's a bunch of bullshit. Why don't we live in joy?
Yeah.
It's like you can start to see now more and more that it to me, it feels like the gray areas are being lost. It's either you're in your ego and you're in the fear, or you're in the love and you're moving along with your soul.
Yeah.
You got to sense where you are. I call it the vibometer, right?
Yeah, the vibometer. Yes, I love that.
That lets you know, where am I vibing? Am I in these lower energies?
Yep.
Lower levels of consciousness. That's your world.
Yeah.
Am I there and pushing to make everything happen?
Yeah.
Or am I in this easy breezy, love, enthusiastic, oh, I got an idea, I can't wait to do it.
Right.
Energy.
Yeah.
So the more you pay attention to that and the more you notice where you are on that lower side, you can easily flip yourself up to a higher side.
Yeah.
You just have to work the energy. I mean, I have that mini course called high vibration living, right?
Right.
So that teaches you ways of moving out of those lower, denser energies into these higher vibrational energies, because everything that you want is going to be there when you're in the high vibe, when you're releasing all these patterns, programs, negative things that are playing in the back of your mind that are keeping you from going with this flow, because that flow is there. It's there. You can't stop it. We are connected to it. We're all connected to it.
Right.
The only thing that's getting in the way are these old stories and programs. So that's really what my work is, to clear all that stuff out, open you up to know that you are far more than that. And yes, we can instantly manifest if we only believe we could.
Right. Mind over matter. That was my last guest.
Yeah.
Talking about the same thing in regards to your body. So while we're on this topic, I love to introduce, levels of consciousness. And we spoke about this one last week, Linda, you and I, because it's good ones. So lower levels of consciousness get you nowhere. They're downward pulling, they're negatively oriented. There's no manifestation there. It just, the energy isn't there for it, just period. That's the fact. So if you want to struggle with resentment and anger and perfectionism and righteousness, you're going to remain there. You can't get out of it. It's like, this sucks. You got to decide. This is where surrender comes. Like, I give. So hardworking is actually positively oriented, to be hardworking, but it's just stepping into power. So there's a lot of hardworking people in this world that they manifest some stuff, but hardworking is not the easy way to do it. So hardworking is around it's around 200 on the map of consciousness, which is still good. It pays to be hardworking, but if you're having fun while you're hardworking, play is like 375 on the map, which is a quantum leap, because it's 10 to the 375th power. That's where the energy to manifest is having fun, lovingness. I mean, most of the planet's not ready to believe that love is the truth. I know you are, because that's your motto. That's your mantra. Love is 500 on the map of consciousness. When you're loving, like in your heart of hearts and having fun, you're going to be a major manifester. Joy is even higher, and it's rare on this planet to experience true joy at that level. It's a totally different dimension. And I've been there, so I can tell you it's totally different than what you may imagine joy is. And peace is even higher. So when you kind of align with that, this is what Linda's talking about. You cannot be hanging out in this low vibe, the toilet bowl. This is like a backward spinning tornado in the toilet. Linda's helping you plow through that stuff. Like, get that crap out of the way to get up into that high vibe. So, while we're here, let's talk about this. Linda has a great introductory course, which she's a great teacher. And to listen to her like meditations is just like, she's super yummy. I could listen to her all day. And she's fun and loving and easygoing. And that energy alone is enough to get you out of your own head. So Linda, talk a little bit about this course. I forget how many modalities there were.
Modules?
Modules. That's what I meant to say.
Basically, there's seven key things for lifting yourself up and out of.
Okay.
And you can go to my website, or you can go to my website, and
yeah.
You can get the 7 tips for high vibration living. And
right.
I do a little introduction to each of the different steps, but then the course goes deeper, and it has meditations, and it has brain entrainment meditations to reprogram some of that subconscious stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, what I do with either some of the ones I made up for that course or other ones I've made since then, because I'm always making new things for myself to listen to.
She never stops, listeners. She's always creating something, and something's always coming to her. Like,
because I want to reprogram.
Yeah.
Like, I like the way you said, it's so easy. Liz, you said it. Hardworking or play working, right?
Yes.
Hardworking or playing, hardworking or inspired working, like however you want to do that, but you can feel the difference just in saying the words. You can divide between the two.
Yep. Way more leverage in having fun. Way more. This is what Law of Attraction talks about when they talk about cooperative components, right? Often they talk about your cooperative components. Your cooperative components will be there when you're in negativity, because that's the field. It's there to support your choice to be negative. It's free will. If you want to choose to hang out there, it'll be there to keep you there.
Absolutely.
Which is, I mean, that's why you feel like you're stuck, because it'll hold you there because you haven't changed your beliefs on it.
Because that's law of attraction.
Right, it's law of attraction.
Whatever you're vibrating out, and it's the energy beyond the words.
Yeah.
The words can bring up an energy for you if you allow it to. Like, if you're gonna reprogram your mind that money flows to me easily and freely, or whatever you want to say, but you're feeling, yeah, right, I got to pay this bill, I don't have enough money yet, oh, somebody knocked, don't answer the door,
yeah.
whatever it is. What's the energy behind the words? So
right.
You want to have those words, great affirmations, but you want to feel them. So you want to find the essence of whatever it is that you're reprogramming yourself. What does that feel like? This freedom, this joy, or whatever you want to attach to the outcome.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's that underlying beating the drum that Esther and Jerry talk about, when the actual feeling is still resentment and, anger. So
That's the whole thing. And that's really what my course is about, is learning how to really know your energy.
Oh, cool. Right.
I mean, you can even feel in a conversation with people where you could feel the energy and you're like, do I want to be a part of this conversation? Why am I subjecting myself to what they're talking about? Find a way to leave it.
Yeah.
Because it's all energy. Everything's energy. So you want to get used to really knowing your energetic field, learning how to support your field when you have to be in spaces that that you would rather not be.
Nice. Okay. So that's a great beginner course that Linda has. And she's got this really awesome, she calls it Super Soul Circles, right?
Yeah.
And it's a live, so the course you just take at your own pace.
Yeah.
You can take it all in a day if you get all, but you probably want to get into the vibe of that more often, like for a month, because you got to train the energy, right? You can consume it all in one day, but you haven't really got traction on it, I think.
Well, you want to apply it in your life. You
want to apply it, right?
Noticing if you're, like some old story comes up and you stay stuck in it.
Yeah.
You want to change that story.
Right.
That's one of the modules right there. Change your story.
Oh, cool.
So notice the words that come out of your mouth. When you start hearing some of the words you say, you're like, oh my God, I don't even think I believe that anymore. Why am I saying that?
Right.
Like, where'd that come from? And then you're like, oh yeah, I was 2. That's when I look at it and say, oh, you were 2 and you're at the beach and this big kid knocked your pail over, or whatever it is, I mean, it all comes from somewhere. So the other thing too, I just want to touch on is that, and it works through theta healing, gate work, all of the work I do, it really is about bringing you into, as I raise my vibe and I make my connection, I'm raising into a theta brainwave. So the theta brainwave is very hypnotic. And in that space, that's when you can lift old programs and put new programs in. And of course, you mentioned free will before. So I can work with people and say, this is what I'm getting. They can say, no, I don't want to go there. And then I'm not going to go there because they have free will.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, they're not ready for that now. I've had situations like that. And one woman, she's like, no, I don't want to do that.
Oh.
But it kept coming back in the same session.
Oh.
It was to do with clearing it. She was having trouble with romantic relationships, and it had to do with something with her father, who passed away when she was a teenager.
Oh.
She saw it like a great relationship with him and that there was no problem there. But it kept coming into me, clear the energy with the dad, clear the energy with the dad.
Oh.
So I brought it up like 2 or 3 times. She's still like, no, I don't need to do that. No, I don't need to do that. But then finally, and I know her pretty well, I'm like, listen, I keep hearing the same message over and over. Why don't we just do it? It can't hurt.
No.
Clear the energy. In the process of even starting to clear that energy, she starts sobbing. So much energy was released. She's like, I don't know where this is coming from, because it was locked in there somewhere. You don't know. You don't remember every little thing that happened and how you formulated all these things. But the reason I'm saying that is because most of that, until we're like 8 years old, we're in a theta brainwave. So we're absorbing everything that people tell us.
Oh, whoops.
You go to touch that pretty little thing because you're like, oh, that's so nice. And you want to touch it and you're 2. And you hear a bunch of adults say, no, don't touch. That's not for you. You're like, oh, I can't have nice things. What's the program that is put into you? Right?
Yeah.
There's so much of that is running that we don't recall consciously, but it's running in the subconscious. So we want to, clear that stuff out, put good stuff in.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I just want to point out, Linda, that when you're working on somebody, you're getting information like this needs to go, which it's kind of interesting that there's like, an eagle's eye view of the situation that needs to be addressed, and you're getting guidance as to what it is. And if it's significant, it keeps coming back.
Right. Sometimes it's that strong.
Yeah.
Other times it's just, or just a flash of something. I'm like, okay, and I don't doubt it anymore. In the beginning, I did. I'm like, oh, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm thinking it might not make sense to them, right? Because then you're in it and you're not just following the spirit. Yeah. So when I became brave enough to say, well, I'm kind of seeing blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh my God.
Right. They recognize it.
I was 5. I forgot all about that.
Ah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's pretty wild. It's fun. I love it.
It is fun. Cool. All right. So I do want to talk about, so that course is a great companion as you're working through this stuff, to just go back to that module and like have Linda talk you through it. It's like you're having a coach going to talk you through the situation and just kind of reinforce what you're learning and what you need to do next. And I think that's a great tool to have readily available to you. So we'll have a link to that below the video and below the podcast. And then I'll put a link on the screen so you guys can see it too. You can check out that online course. And then that, if you want to graduate and work with Linda live, she has these great super soul circles. And Linda, why don't you tell us your experience with that? I know working in a group is super powerful, and to heal groups, what's been your experience with that?
Well, first I wanted to say, because you were talking about the other little mini course.
Yeah.
That the one key message I get all the time from my guidance is to keep it simple. There's no right way, meaning there's no one way, right? There's no right way. Keep it simple. It's like that course is very simple. And it's to the point with things that I found that work with me, because I went through a tough 2 years after my sister passed, and that sunk me into where I had to dig myself out. And so that course came from that, bringing myself up into this higher vibe through those.
Oh, nice.
The super soul, like when a group comes together, there's never it's never a mistake. Even sometimes, I used to do a lot of live groups in my karate school, and you would think maybe some of these people might not mesh, but guess what? It all comes out. They have similar experience, similar stories, similar things that they want to release. And so when you're in this group energy, it just is magnified.
Right.
There's so much support from, even just the support from each other, being heard by those members of the group, and then having, energy clearings around whatever it is that comes up. So in my super soul circle, I limit it to only 3 participants.
At the moment. We won't hold you to that, but.
Well, I might restructure it then to have more people.
Okay, gotcha.
And if I do restructure it, and I'm thinking about it, maybe I will, then more people can come in. You're just not going to get as much one-on-one attention. Right. So like when I'm working one-on-one, it's just you. But in a small group of 3, I still get to give that group some more in-depth, specific clearings to what's going on for them. Right? Yeah. So I'll do oracle card readings, which always are exactly what everybody's been going through in the past week.
I do want to shout out to oracle cards. Some people could think, don't know anything about them, but they are so dead on because it's a vibrational match.
Right.
The card is showing up because you're a match to it.
Right.
And everyone's astounded, like, oh my God, how'd the card know? I'm like, well, so I get answers every single time. I use books as oracles too. I just like, show me what I need to read today. Boom, there it is.
Absolutely.
I mean, you do it. So that's cool that you're doing that. And it's dead on for everybody.
I do a LOA Today podcast, which is now streaming live on YouTube on 4 o'clock Eastern on Friday.
Oh, really?
And
great. LOA Today. Let's make sure everyone hears that.
Well, the YouTube station is LOA Today podcast videos, but there's just loatoday.net is the main website for the podcast, because it is a podcast. But we do also stream to YouTube, and LOA Today does like 8 a week.
Right.
I'm doing Fridays at 4. But why I'm bringing that up is because while we're on this, and first of all, we just wing it. Whatever comes up, whatever the energy field wants to bring in is what we talk about. There's never a plan. And I always have a few decks with me. And so we're talking, and I'll be shuffling, and I'll pull a card. It's always, because we already started the conversation, relates to what we're talking about.
Yes.
I'll usually pull maybe 3 cards if I have time during our conversation. And the way they speak to what the conversation is about, and then we'll have people who will type in, because it's live on YouTube. It is even specifically to that single person right there.
Wow.
But basically, again, if you're going to be drawn to watch the video, there's something in it for you, because that's how energy works. Energy will draw you in, and then you get what was meant for you to get. But anyway, back to Super Soul Circle. So I start out with that. I check in with everybody, what's been going on. Actually, it depends on how I feel. I'm either going to do an oracle card reading first, or check in with everybody first, then do an oracle card reading, and then I'm just going to do energy clearing, whatever spirit wants to come through, which usually very much ties into what we just did and the meditation that's coming up. Oh, you have a meditation too. Then I'll do a meditation.
Nice.
And so it's like the whole thing just blends together, and there's so much healing that comes from it. And it's very intimate. So right now it is just 3 people.
Okay.
And it's an hour and a half long.
And it's for 8 weeks, Linda? Is that how long they go for?
Yeah, it's 8 weeks. Yeah.
8 weeks. All right. So we'll have links to Linda's Super Soul Circles, because if you want to work in a small, intimate group, which I always find groups even more kind of profound than one-on-one.
Yeah.
There's something going on there.
You know what about that too? Because some people don't want to say what's happening for them.
Right.
But when they're in the group, other people are basically speaking for them. Because again, the energy comes together.
Yes.
If there's something to be cleared or worked on, even if you don't have the courage, or you're just not that way, you just like to keep things to yourself, you'll be surprised how it actually relates to you.
Yes.
So that's the beauty of a group.
Yeah. I love that. Cool. So people can work with you one-on-one, Linda, right? What are you currently offering these days, or how are you working, or what's new, or what's going on?
You mean
outside of the course and the Super Soul Circle?
Yes.
You work one-on-one with people, and
I work one-on-one with people. I
Yeah.
do the group thing every night. Mostly I'm doing one-on-one.
okay.
Yeah. And actually, I forgot about it. I didn't even think about it for today, but I am running a special. See, normally normally if you're going to work with me, it's going to be for 3 months or 6 months at a time. You can do a single session. It's more expensive that way.
Yeah.
But I have a special
Well, I
going
don't know
on.
about a special though, Linda, because this is going to be on YouTube
Oh,
and
okay.
podcast forever. So
Right,
let's
forget
not
it.
do that.
It was only
Go to your website.
All right. Yeah. That works.
So Linda's website is lovemylife.coach, and any type of specials that would be going on, she would show there. So we'll do that. But she has excellent testimonials. I've been working with Linda now for, I think, over 2 years. I love her. She is running a high vibe. All that she intends is love. And when you're aligned with love, that's where healing happens. Real healing. So you can find Linda at the mindbodyspiritnetwork.com/Linda-Armstrong. And I'll share her website here as well. And if you like what's going on here, subscribe to our podcast, highvibetriberadio.com. Our YouTube channel is highvibetribetv.com. And then, thank you so much, you guys. Linda, thank you for being the loving healer that you are.
Thank you.
I highly recommend working with Linda and checking out her course too. She's got a lot of meditations in that course. Get you to sleep at night.